Hi everyone. Today we're going to make a collage, and we're going to base it on the style of Eric Carle. Eric Carle is a really famous, Eric Carle is a very famous children's book writer. This is, this is the book we're going to use today, The Tiny Seed, and we're going to recreate one of his images in the Tiny Seed book, which is this one. This one right here. The Tiny Seed is a book that takes you through the life cycle of one seed, where it gets dispersed through the air and then it lands in the ground. This shows the seed flying overseas because the wind is taking it far, far away. And then the little bird picks it up and drops it in the ground. And here's the seedling. And then it becomes a flower, and somebody picks it to give it to his friend. And here's a really big seed that grew. It was not picked, it stayed in the ground. And it's making everybody happy. The flower that grew from the tiny seed is making the birds and the butterflies happy. And the sun is also happy because the sun's energy helped to create the growth of this flower. And now this is the cycle, and its life cycle, when it starts to die and its petals fall. It's around September, and that's what we're going to do today. First, I traced this image from the book. I traced it on tracing paper, and then I cut out a pattern. See how this fits right here? And then I cut it out from this collage paper that we made using just white tissue paper and painting it. So I made the pattern. This is the pattern for the stem. And I cut it out. I cut out the collage paper, and then I assembled it. And that's what we got. We got the tiny seed, just like it is in the book. Well, there's a little bit more background in the book. You know, there's this stuff here that he uses that to describe like the wind blowing, but there's little autumn leaves and stuff because it's autumn. Autumn is starting. So we can finish this one by adding those other elements that Eric Carle put in his book. Okay, so that is the tiny seed. Now I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you the whole process from scratch. And we're going to show you how to make the plum. And this is from Eric Carle, also the same author, Very Hungry Caterpillar. And I'll show you how to make the plum, because the plum was one of the fruits that he ate through because he was very hungry. So I drew a plum. Here's my plum that I drew, going by what was in Eric Carle book. And I have purple tissue paper. Trying to get a better color. Trying to get a better color read. This tissue paper is purple. And I'm going to put it. We created this tissue paper by just painting with watercolor paint on blank tissue paper. I'm going to choose a spot. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to cut the plum out here because this is the darker purple on the paper. Let me see if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here is the darkest bit of purple. So that's where I want to cut out my plum from that. So cut this out. Place this right here. Get my removable tape. If you don't have removable tape, it's a good thing to have when you do these kind of projects. This tape will come right off again when I need it to come off again. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out the plum. And I'm going to cut right over the tape. I'm not going to cut the stem. I'm not, because the stem is not going to be purple, so I'm cutting off the stem. So here's our plum, right there. That's the pattern, and that's the plum. It's a really nice purple color. I don't know if you can really see it that well. So now I'm going to do the green. And because the tape is removable, you just take this right off. And I have a little bit of green paper here. So I put the removable paper, the removable tape, I stuck it right on there. I'm not sure. I think the speakers were off this whole time, so. I'm going to continue to cut. Cutting in here is a little bit tricky. But I did. And that's the stem and the leaf. So now we have to put it together. We'll take a look at the book. This is the one that we're going to make right here. The only difference is it's not going to have the hole in the middle because the hungry caterpillar hasn't gotten to this one yet. So I'm just going to finish it off by gluing first on the mat board and then on the little piece that we want glued down. And then the same for this. You have to be careful when you're using the glue stick with this very fine paper. Don't do this, don't rub it back and forth, just rub in one direction. And so that's how you make a collage plum, the way that Mr. Eric Carle does it. And he illustrates all his books pretty much using his collage method that he developed himself. So that was an illustration of how to do one by using the little pattern, you know. I did the pattern for the fruit and then the pattern for the leaves, and I came out with this. You can also do free form, like freehand collage papers. And I did this one. I just cut it out. I didn't use any kind of pattern. This I just cut out freehand. So you can make this picture like this freehand too, without any kind of pattern. You know, I just took the scissors and got the paper and just started freehand cutting the shapes that I wanted. And that's fairly easy to do when you're dealing with really easy shapes like tulips and leaves and grass. So that's our project for today. If you want any cardstock or collage paper or glue. You can pick up a kit at the library, and you can take out one of our many books by Eric Carle, and then you can just recreate one of his many images and designs. So I hope you enjoyed today's project, how to make a collage image like Eric Carle, the great illustrator, children's book author. And hopefully we'll see you in a couple weeks for the next project.